Code Orange Live. It's your girl Daiya Tene. We have a special guest with us today, back with another interview. Who I have here with us today, we have a recording artist, producer, engineer, founder of The Bridge Upstate, and the only person to ever invite me to a disco party, Zak G.
You remember that? Let's go. Appreciate that. You know, it was total different vibes. I'm just trying to bring just different stuff out to Cuse, man. We need different things, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Excited to have you here. Excited to finally do this. It's been a long time coming.
I'm just excited to be behind the Code Orange mics. You know what I mean? I love what you guys do.
Appreciate
what
it.
you bring for the city. You know, we just gotta keep connecting, bringing everybody together. I'm excited for what the future holds.
Likewise.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
For sure. So, right off the bat, in the beginning, as you noticed, there's a lot of things that I listed for you. You wear many hats.
Yeah.
I'm curious, you know, a lot of artists in the beginning always say, I want to keep it about the music. But more than ever now, it's impossible to keep it just about the music.
Impossible.
I'm curious, when you started off, was it always your goal to wear these many hats, to be, you know, a producer, to engineer, or was it out of necessity because of, you know, we live in upstate?
Yes.
So I'm curious about what your answer to that is.
Yeah. Hell no. I wanted to make music. Honestly, I started making music as a hobby. I went to college for broadcasting. I thought I wanted to, like, you know, talk on sports, things like that.
Same.
Yeah, for real. I love that. What I realized is it's just not creative enough of a avenue for me. I didn't want to tell other people's stories. I wanted to tell my own. And I'd been making music as a hobby for forever. So then I was like, well, I want to make music for a career. Mm-hmm. I just had this kind of awakening moment after college, and I was like, no, I'm going for this. And no, it was just, I want to make music. I actually hated the grind of content at first, but I realized if I'm going to make music, it doesn't matter how good the song is. Like, you need to make content around it and promote it for people to actually even know that it exists.
Yes.
That's the world that we live in. Music doesn't mean enough anymore. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we live in a time and age where just like people don't care enough, even if it's the best song ever. It's like,
it needs to be more.
For sure. You know what I mean? You know how long it takes me to actually go and listen to someone else's song? It's like, okay, well, that's not just me. That's everybody. That's probably you. We're all like,
I just had a lot. It's so oversaturated in a way, you know? Yeah,
and there's just so much going on. So it's like, you know what? You got to find a way to stand out. Figure out a way to get your content on the same creative level as your music. And that's been my whole grind, is like, look, I know I'm nice and I'm slowly getting better, and I'm always going to keep getting a little bit better with music, but I need that content level and the promotion understanding and the business mindset to all be on the same level of the music, because no one's going to do that for me. I'm going to do that for me. And if I do that for me, I'm going to be way better off than someone that's like, I need a manager. I need, you know, this person to help me shoot the content. I need this, whatever. Obviously, you want to collaborate. I'm not saying that. Like, get Trigg out there and let's go, right?
Right.
But it was really, you got to have that understanding for yourself.
It's taking your career in your own hands and being 100% in control of what happens. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, you can't point to all these people. It has to, at some point, you have to have some accountability, and you have to have some type of control over what you want in, I guess, your path. So I love that you take so much onus on that.
Yeah, exactly. You control your own destiny, and like, you might as well take accountability if you like really believe in this and love this as I do and as you guys do with your careers. It's like you take ownership no matter what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like, just take that mentality, and, you know, where are we in the landscape of 2024? It's content, it's promotion, it's how do you stand out visually, so then it'll open someone up, and then they're like, oh, now I'm listening. Mm-hmm. Now I'm open to, oh, wait, he said that. Oh, all right, let me go back. Let me go to his Spotify. Let me go to his Apple Music.
Exactly.
Let me follow him there. Let me, you know what I mean? Let me go to the back catalog. But it takes like years to like, people have been listening to Drake and Kendrick and all these people their whole entire lives. They just heard of me, like, you know, for the past 3 years, whatever. Mm-hmm. So you got a lot of like work to do to get to someone where it's like you've become a part of their lifestyle. That's what I'm trying to do. That's the game that we play as artists. I just want artists to understand that.
Perfect way to word it.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be working on the words. I'm a, you know,
well, you are an artist. Yeah. You are a rapper. You should have a way with words, right?
Yeah, the lyrical miracle. You already know.
Right. I'm curious too, because I've heard you say, I mean, obviously we are in Syracuse, but I've heard you say you're a country boy.
I am a country boy.
How did you get introduced to hip hop? And I guess how do you even have the musical palette that you have?
Yeah.
I remember a couple months ago, I went and saw SWV, and you slid up on my story like, this is the greatest song ever made. I think it was Rain.
Yeah.
You're like, this is the greatest song ever made. And you have such a expansive musical palette.
Yeah, I love that.
Where does that come from?
So it comes from, I think, being an outcast in the best way in high school and growing up. I grew up Middle Eastern in a country school, and it was like 2001, 9/11. I think a lot of people have just a different perception of you in the sense of like the boys joking around, you know, terrorists, like whatever. Like they'd make like some real like serious jokes that were jokes at the time, and like you're like laugh it off and things like that. But there's certain lines, like we're different in ways, and I think I found identity in hip hop. I found identity once. I was just talking to Maxwell about this. The first time I'm on the bus and my boy has Now 14 on a CD player and he's bumping Right There by Chingy. That's like my first song that I'm like,
introductory
I like
point.
the way you do that right there. And I'm like, oh, like the way that he's kind of got that flow. Shout out Chingy. And then I'm listening to the radio, you know, Get Back, Ludacris, Eminem, Mockingbird, Caught Up, Usher. These are like this is when
time.
I'm just starting to, I have this little plastic basketball hoop. I remember when I'm like in like, even like this is like elementary school times. This isn't even in middle school yet. And I'm like hooping in my basement, and I'm recording on cassette tapes. You all don't know about this. Like
recording,
now I'm
doing
dating
voiceovers.
Myself. Yeah, now I'm dating myself real. But I think it just was looking for identity in myself, understanding that I'm a country boy. I'm from the country, but like there's certain differences here that I feel like I don't, like the buses are playing country music. I'm like, I don't resonate. I'm annoyed with this. I'm annoyed with this because this, you know, I go to an Arabic church every Sunday. And it was just, again, just something for identity, I think. And
did you almost feel like an outcast a little bit? Yeah, for
sure. Yeah. It was just, you know, I need something to be able to express that. And I found that in writing lyrics. I remember just like writing in a notepad, you know, pen to paper before we have the notes app for real. So I don't know, man. It just kind of happened naturally. It was kind of one of those things. I didn't really try to do it. It just kind of happened. And that's when I really started to realize that it was like, nah, like I do this for the right reasons. This is for me. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like, let me try to be a cool rapper. It was like, no, like I love expressing myself, lyrics, production, you know, working, collaborating with other people, performing. There's a whole world to this. And I was like, yeah, there wasn't a piece that I didn't love. I love the business. I love trying to strike deals with venues and like, you know.
And I can hear the passion.
Yeah.
Every time we talk.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I know. I can be a lot sometimes, you know.
No, but it's good. That's what it takes, you know.
Yeah.
Even just hearing you speak about the different influences, like hearing Chingy and Ludacris and Usher, I'm sure as you've like delved into your musical career, you've seen how music has changed. How did you, I guess, stay pat? Because you're very firm on lyricism and just quality of music.
Yeah.
And it's always been that way. Even when I was listening back to some of your older stuff from like 2018, it's always been that way. How, even during that time when it was like super SoundCloud, like how did you stay pat in the sound that you wanted and not follow trends? Like I don't ever see you even like the drill sound or I've never see you hop on any type of trend.
I love that you
How do you stand pat in that and not, I guess, kind of try to give in to what everybody else is doing to get hot.
So it starts from that root of looking for identity and wanting it to be like mine. I want ownership of my music. I don't want it to be anybody else's. When a trend goes around, yeah, if I do hop on it, it's going to be mine though. Like I'm going to make it mine. And it's always been like, I grew up on these people that are bigger than life. Like when you think Ludacris, you think the Get Back music video with the big arms, like no one's doing it like Luda, right? Just as no one's doing it like Wayne with his Gangsta Grills mixtapes. No one's doing it like, you know, and like there's some of the new, like middle school, I don't want to say new schooler because now even Tyler has kind of had his run, but they're just their own individual. I know Tyler's talked about this on his new interview as well. So it's just like, I've always used it as, I want to be an individual, not as I want to be a part of the crowd. I want to stand out. I always have. Like I said, when I'm in high school and I'm this Middle Eastern kid, I stand out in a way. And instead of shying away from standing out, I decided, no, that's my power. Embrace it. I was the class clown in my high school. I was, you know, like I won prom king and things like that because I was like, no, I'm supposed to be this big person that kind of like brings people together. Like why do I have to pretend and like, you know, bring myself down for someone else?
Hold yourself back.
Yeah, exactly. And so that I take that into my music. I'm like, I don't want to be like y'all. I want to be like me, man. I want to create the trend. I want the trend to be mine. Like I don't, you know what I mean? And I think everybody should care about that because you start chasing trends, you lose yourself in that. Again, there's no problem with. Look, I do want to hop on Fisher at some point. I got one in the tuck. Like I found a way to
you got the Zak G on the sexy drill beat.
The sexy something about sexy drills, but I like Done Up has kind of that sexy drill kind of vibe, right? But it's never like, yeah, let me try to do sexy drill. It's like, oh, I was doing this, I was making this, and then here comes this pocket of things happening, and just kind of aligns in ways, you know. So yeah, it's always just been individual. Let me be me as much as I can be.
I want to ask you about, you know, when you come up with an idea and it's clear you're kind of the person where you come up with an idea, you're going to execute it. So specific ones I want to ask you about. So I've already mentioned it, the disco. What made you decide, okay, I got a song that's themed around disco. I'm going to shoot a video that's disco themed. And then I'm going to throw a party that is also a disco. So what makes you come up with these plans, and then what also makes you confident that you can execute them?
Yeah, I think it's just the nutty creativity that I have. And I'm like, you know, if it doesn't work, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I think we care too much about what other people think. So I'm just like, well, my boy, I was literally in Orlando with one of my producers. Shout out Kamo. He produced the beat. We actually co-produced it. Like I helped with the drums. We're kind of cooking back and forth. And then I started recording, and it just ended up being that whole day, like, or whatever. And something about shining, spinning around just like a disco. I didn't want to make it any disco themed or whatever. It just kind of like happened with me just saying words. Like something's catchy, and I'm like, okay, and then let me stick with that theme, and let me figure out like how to build a world around. And then so then like that word just sounded catchy. Then I kind of created themes tethered throughout the song. Then let me make a music video where he comes back up to New York, and then we shoot the music video. We're wearing all disco clothes, and then
the shiny silver shirts.
And I'm not even thinking about let me do disco night at that point. Like it all just kind of happens. I'm like, I need to do a show. And then I'm like, I have my single disco out. Why don't we make this disco night to give it a theme to try to make this just a little more,
and make it bigger,
and make it different. And yeah, man, I don't shy away from standing out. I want to stand out. Like, you know what I mean? Some people are like, yeah, I don't want to do that. You know, I want to sound like, you know, what's hot, whatever. And that's honestly, there's some artists that like are good at doing that. I also don't want to like talk shit on that either. But that's just
there's
not
some
me.
Artists that are great at having the mystique.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean,
doesn't
look,
work for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to be you. You just got to be you. So
another endeavor, the Bridge Upstate.
Yep.
Talk to us about that.
I mean, look, I got this on the water bottle. I got it tatted on me. My mom was upset at that.
See that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Just a reminder, man. It's bigger than you. That's why the arrow's going up. Bigger than you. Upstate also. But yeah, I realized like the scene that we're in, and we've had conversations, like, we got to bring people together. Like, I feel like, there's this over here, this over here, this over here. There's a lot of talent in different spots. And I'm like, man, if we could just come together and unify in some type of way, wouldn't that be beautiful and amazing for our scene? It would create collaborations, and like, I know that's a lot of the work that you guys do, in the sense of like the hanging mics and, connecting people in certain ways. So it was just like, for me, I wanted to do my part in bringing people together, because a scene that's disjointed isn't really a scene. You know what I mean? You got like all these other cities, they're doing whatever. It's like, nah, I want Syracuse, upstate New York, like, all working together in some type of way. So that's where the bridge came into fruition. Me and my boy Angel, shout out Angel, he's my co-founder. We just thought of like, that was the perfect name. Bridging the gap, bridging these cities, bridging people, bridging understanding, bridging, people to resources. Like, that to me is like the most important thing to me, and I don't want to ever forget where I came from. I don't want to ever like get too big for whatever. It's like, I want to keep pouring back into where I'm from. And I think more than ever, we're in a renaissance right now, where it's like, I don't know if like the big cities are the places to be anymore, for real. Like, I think like with the way the internet is, you can be from anywhere. You can do it from anywhere. So why not be like the first to really create a crazy scene in upstate New York? Not to say that there hasn't been certain things, right? But I think as a whole of coming together and like creating content, things like that, it's just, I'm trying to conceptualize something new and different, where it's like, for the right reasons, for the love of hip hop, and just bringing us all together in positive ways.
And I know, you've had this ciphers that you've been doing, and so I know you've been having the ciphers you've been doing, and you've done one in Buffalo at this point. I actually went to one last summer, and the energy was just amazing. You have all these artists from all over who come together and really rap for real. Yeah. Which is like a lost art. Yeah. It's like a last of a dying breed. Yep. What makes you just emphasize lyricism so much? And are you happy to see that it's kind of making its, like, the importance of that is making its way back? Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't think it's the last of a dying breed. I think it's something that's a staple that will never go away. And you have your certain trends that might shy away from it. But then it's like, you got to find different ways to bring it back into the limelight. And yeah, I'm excited. We had 60 artists out there perform. We had over 100 people there, but 60 artists actually performed. 14 different cities were represented in New York and beyond. I think we might have, no, it might just be, we had some New York City people though too. So it's like, dope. It was really dope to just bring everybody together, influenced by me going down to New York City and actually rapping at Cyphers.
I've seen you were doing the train freestyle.
The train freestyle. Shout out One Train Cyphers, Steve. I mean, he was a huge influence. I actually got on a meeting with him saying, like, look, I want to bring some of this to upstate. Like, is that cool? And he was all for it. He loved that, I had a vision to kind of unify things. So that's it, man. I think lyricism's so important. And it's like, yeah, man, I mean, get in the ignorant bag, like get in the, the vibey type music, get the sad boy raps off, like do whatever, like avenue you're in hip hop, like do it. But like, don't forget, like, there's other parts of this to cultivate to become a well-rounded artist. So it's like, if I'm the guy that's like influencing people to like, okay, yeah, let me get back on my pen, like, then I'm doing my job. You know what I mean? I feel like you said, I care about quality. I really do. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Talk to us about the new music. You got a song that's dropping this week. It probably will already be out by the time this comes out, but a new song dropping in a few days. Yep, I do. I have this new song called Starstruck. I got Miss Billy on the second half of it. I'm excited, man. I'm excited because this is just a new step. I feel like I'm going a little more R&B with it. I'm getting more comfortable every step I take with music, with my singing voice, and I believe in taking risks. So I just... No, you use them vocals. I be hearing Thank you. I appreciate that. Like a little Masego, I'm trying to just bring in some like R&B influence into what I do. but yeah, this one's just more of that mixed with kind of like Smino vibes. Like I'm really just I'm just trying to give that different palette of like what my favorite influences and artists do, and kind of mash it into everything that's me. So yeah, that's Starstuck dropping Friday, and that's Starstuck, no R, Starstruck, Starstuck.
It's a tongue twister.
It is. Yeah.
What do you think has been what do you think is the key to being a successful artist?
Honestly, consistency is probably the most important part.
You're very. I was hoping you said that.
It doesn't
You're very consistent.
Well, it doesn't, because it doesn't matter how you could be the worst artist ever. I just believe in I don't know. I believe in people. I feel like if you stick to something long enough, you're gonna get good at it, right? Like I wasn't great at this starting out, but it was like I wanted to do it. It's like anybody starting out. It's like you just pick up something for the first time. It's like when you're a baby, you're crawling, and then you got to learn how to walk.
Right.
It's like you don't just like all of a sudden stand on your feet and you're running around the house. So that was it for me, man. I was just like, I love this. I love music. And I remember back in the day, like showing it to people, and some people like shooting it down. And I was like, to me, it was like the best thing. Like I was like, I don't like, you're wrong. Like this shit's fire, and I know it is. But I heard but I would hear constructive criticism at the same time. So I think it's like consistency, being a good listener to not only your music, but to the feedback that people are saying. So it's like, oh, okay, people like when I sing like this. Oh, okay, people like this. Oh, okay, yeah, that was corny. Okay, this was fire though. Oh, I'm really expressing myself here. Oh, I talk that shit. All right, let me do that again.
Right.
Let me do that again. Let me kind of double back. And that's the thrill for music for me. It's like it's just outdoing I like to outdo myself every record, right? Make a better record. I feel like, and maybe this is for the rest of my life, that I just haven't made my best record yet. I feel like my best record's still out there in the ether, like waiting for me to make it.
I feel like most artists should feel like that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's, important. And that's when you got drive and passion for this. But yeah, I love it. I really do love it.
Talk to us about the Hip Hop Social. That's another big project of yours, another endeavor you're super passionate about.
Yep. So the Bridge has two staple events, one being the Upstate Cypher, the other being the Hip Hop Social. I'll be honest, I go around town. I like to be outside. I like to study different ways of how people do shows, whether it be showcases in the hip hop scene or it be outside the hip hop scene, just parties, just why are people going out? And I realized, like, in our landscape, we haven't done a really great job of like making shows for the consumer, right? Like making a reason for people to come out beyond just like the local scene. So what my idea
to see like a local artist perform, basically, right?
Exactly. Even me too. It's like, it's a hard sell for me even being like, yo, Zach, come out for Zak G. Like, I'm not even saying this on some egos. You know what I mean? So my whole thing was like, okay, well, what if I made this more focused on the DJ, relatable hip hop tracks? The artists don't come up for 20-minute sets. They come up, do one or two songs. Attention spans are like, yeah, we live in an ADHD society. So why don't I take that thought process into an event? And that's what the Hip Hop Social is. We're listening to relatable tracks. You know what I mean? You listen to your Pop Smoke, your Chingy. Like, I don't know. I just thought of Chingy right there. But, and then you kind of, all of a sudden, after like 15 minutes or so, out pops Zak G, out pops this artist, that artist. And they only go out for a couple songs. And then it's like, oh, they're gone. We wanted more. You leave them wanting more. And that's what you got to do with local artists. I feel like the showcases we've been doing is like 10 artists, all 20-minute sets.
Yeah.
And you're there for hours. And I'm like, I want people leaving like, not like, man, I had to go home. And
they doing songs you never heard.
Yeah, yeah.
Might not even have a video to or anything like that. Yep.
Exactly. So I'm trying to like rethink how we do events in the ways of like, because then the consumer wants to come because they're like, oh yeah, it's a hip hop social. They're playing my favorite music. I'll come out. Right. I really don't even make the artist the sell. I make the night the sell. Yes, I make the night the sell. And then the artists get to eat off that because there's over 100 people in the room that are excited, and actually they're super like excited when an artist comes out.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, it just changes the energy, I think, for an artist, because it's like now people are all primed to just, they're loose, they're having fun, they've listened to their music or whatever, and now it's like, all right, well, let me give you some of ours. Mm-hmm. It works for everybody, makes everybody happy. And I have, you know, what's really, really dope is I had my dad in the back, and he was watching the crowd, and he goes, you know what's really cool about this? Everybody's smiling. And I was so simple of him saying that, but I realized like
everyone's having a good time.
I realized like it's so simple, but it's so real. Mm-hmm. If you can make people in the room smile, like you kind of won.
Right.
Everybody's let their guard down. They're having a good time. Like that's it.
It is very simple, but yeah. You've opened up for a lot of bigger artists.
Yeah.
Waka Flocka specifically, I wanted to ask about. How was that?
Waka was awesome. He's a goofball. Like he's really just a funny guy. Like after the show, we're like in our like room or whatever, and he got like a coconut water, and he was like trying to sell me on it. I'm like, I've never had that, Waka. He's like, yo, it has electrolytes. Like you need to make sure to be. He's
big on health.
He's big on health. Mm-hmm. And it was funny. It was him. It was DJ Who Kid was his DJ too.
Oh, really?
So Mike O'Leary is there with me, and he's
shout out Mike.
He's chopping it up with DJ Who Kid over here. I'm chopping with Waka. Like it was just dope. It was just this really, and it's a moment that like not everybody gets to have. Right. And I was so blessed. And you know, I don't know, man. I mean, Waka was really cool. And it was a huge stage, Lemoyne College. You know what I mean? That was like For the G's album I have, the album cover is me on stage at that show.
Oh, okay.
A lot of that marketing was all from there. Shots from that show. So, yeah, I mean, that was what a moment for me to like really realize, like, wait, I've always felt like I can do this, but like there's just these little moments that you're like, oh, I can really do this. Mm-hmm. Like I can rock this big stage with this big artist with this many people here. And at that point, it's like, what can I not do? So it was dope. It was dope. Waka's funny. And shout out Lemoyne. Shout out Jeffrey Mateo. Appreciate you, bro, for getting me up there.
It definitely looked like a vibe. Before we get out of here, my favorite segment, I got some quick hits for you.
Yep.
First,
okay.
I want to know your 5 favorite artists from Syracuse.
I feel like I'm just the wrong person to answer because I'd be focusing in my own world for real. Mm-hmm. If I have to pick, it's probably me, 100%. That's Mike O'Leary because he's
shoe 5 times.
That's it. I mean, it's hard current because I'm just like, I know the legends. Like I know like who I've like looked up to, and like Mike O'Leary is that. Trigg the Ruler is that. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean, Chris B, like the way he's made it out of the city and made moves, it's just been, and you talk about lyricism and stuff like that.
He's one of them.
He is just one of them ones. And then CT Rada, again, I see versatility out of him. And then I'm trying to think of I don't know. I don't know if I can put a 5th. I like AK Castro. I mean, my guy's literally a virtuoso on the keyboard.
Okay.
And his hyper pop lane, like he really knows how to do it, and he gets better every album.
Versatile.
He's versatile. Definitely like the hyper pop is on a whole different side of things too. But there's so many people I could say, and it's like, here's the other thing. Being the Bridge Upstate, it's like, I almost have a responsibility to not say a top 5 because I'm like, you know, I want to push.
Understood.
Like whatever, and I don't even. Again, I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have one for real.
How about an artist from here that you have not worked with that you would love to collaborate with?
Who have I not? I mean, I didn't even mention Taz. I love Taz, man. I wanted to. Me and Taz have been talking about working back and forth on some shit for a long ass time. And Taz, CT, and like again, both of them were like, yeah, we gotta do something. So
Just gotta line it up.
I want to work with God, crazy. I'm forgetting his name right now. Really good on TikTok. Hugh did an interview with him, and I'm literally blanking on his name right now. I'm so sorry. Yes. You know what I'm talking about? TikTok famous. Not Chubbs.
I don't know.
I would love to work with Chubbs though. I'd love to work with Skirt. I didn't even mention Skirt either. Shout out Leak. Shout out. There's just so many people, man. There's so many, and this is the other thing is like, there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of people out here doing great things. And it's just so hard to like remember 20 names off the top of your head.
That's valid.
Like straight up. So yeah.
All right.
By the way, I got on the Code Orange list, and I'm unapologetically on that. That's right. I'm a goat of my city, and you'll better believe it. List. There's a lot of people that got mad that I was on there, or not a lot of people, but one guy. I don't know if I should drop the name, but yeah, bro. Oh, I know. Yeah, you got features with him. Well, guess what? I don't know if you've been working like me though. Like we can go down. We can see who's got the presence.
Resume.
Anyways, yeah, I don't need any smoke.
All right.
Maybe some.
All right. If you could only wear one brand for the rest of your life, what brand would it be?
Probably Nike, because my Air Force Ones are a staple in everything that I do. Don't look at the Adidas socks.
Let me see them.
But yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to put my shoe in your face.
It's all right.
You know, that's like an insult as a Middle East. Like if in the Middle East, if you show someone the sole of your shoe, it's kind of like a middle finger. So I apologize. Wow. I wasn't flipping you off.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know how to take that.
No, I swear. I was just trying to show you my Air Force Ones. Shout out Nike. But I don't know. I feel so corporate saying that, and I
shout out Nike.
Yeah, like. You know,
I feel like Nike's a good go-to brand though.
But no freebies. So like if you want to sponsor Code Orange or the Bridge, like you can get in contact. I can't believe I just gave you that free placement. You're welcome. But no, we can talk some dollars if you're open.
If someone was to come to Syracuse that never had been here before, where's the one place you'd take them?
Soundgarden, baby. We out here.
Okay.
I work here every Monday. You can catch me 1 to 8 p.m. This is really cool, man. I got my CDs out here for the G's in the rap section, in the new arrivals section. But this is, I feel like a gem in a lot of ways because you just have so much music around you. And I wish we got back. If you do get back in like the physical vinyl game / CD game, this is the place. And like
we're surrounded.
Yeah, we're surrounded. We're just
by CDs and albums and DVDs and games.
Just art, man. Just art.
It's like my childhood in like one place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And dude, vinyls are so cool. Like I actually collect like rap vinyls. I got, Dark Twisted Fantasy and, not For Your Eyes Only. 2014 Forest Hills Drives, J. Cole.
Fire.
I got Damn Kendrick. I got, all the Kendrick.
All the greats.
I love, I'm a big Kendrick
the modern
fan.
greats.
I'm a Mac Miller fan. I'm a Tyler fan. So I got like all their vinyls too. So yeah. But this is it. This is the spot. I'm trying to think of any other spots, but come on, you got to rep hometown.
You do.
Home base.
My last question, my final question. If you could have 1 million of anything, what would it be?
1 million supporters. 1 million people that like truly love me. And I don't mean supporter in the sense of like fake, like whatever, like 100, you said a million. A million's a lot of people.
Million.
If I have a million people that really like me, that might be a cult for real. No, I'm not trying to. No shady shit. You know what I mean? But no, I want people who genuinely are in my corner, want to see me win, see me for me. Because it's tough. It's tough when you're like a performer, a person who's supposed to put on,
Yeah.
like whatever. People see you as a certain thing, or like bigger than life, or I'm like, I just want a million people that like I can feel like I can like confide in, hang out with. Like I want to build a world that's why I say a million, because that's like, a big chunk of the world where there's just, people that, have love for me, and I have hopefully, love for everybody. I always try to show love, you know what I mean? So yeah, I would say that. But I don't need that. Like, it's not a need. By the way, that fly loves you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the oranges. It's the sugar from the nectar, the sweet nectar.
Mm-hmm. The scents.
That's it.
Well, yeah. There you have it. A cameo from the fly before we wrapped up.
That's it. That's it.
Zach, I'm glad we got the chance to do this.
Me too.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Everything that you guys do. Shout out Code Orange. Big things coming, man.
Yeah. Shout out you. Give them your socials. Let them know where to find you. All that.
Listen, man. For the Jesus out now. My album came out last year, but we're on a singles run right now. Jasmine out now.
Star Stuck
coming out Friday.
No R.
We got Moneybag coming out after that, probably next month, 2 months from now. I'm about to go on a run for real. And then Michael Leary's Zak G album, maybe. Definitely. And that'll be in 2025 sometimes. My name is Zak G, ZAKG. You can find me on Instagram or any social media. IAMZAKG. We branded it everywhere the same way. I am Zak G. Don't forget it. IamZakG.com. Cop your merch. Support the movement. Bridge Upstate doing big things. Hip Hop Social, next one being announced soon. In November, we're going to be at Middle Ages Brewery. I'm opening up for the Frank White Experience,
Dope.
the Biggie tribute band. Shout out Jake holding the drums down for me. Michael Leary, I hope you're DJing for me. I know you're busy as hell with Sunday cleaning. So shout out that. Shout out Maxwell, shout out Angel. I know I'm just like giving my shout outs now, but shout out the fam. Appreciate you guys. All right.
Appreciate you. It's Daiya Tene and it's Code Orange Live. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on everything there is to follow us on. It's a wrap. Another interview in the books. We'll see you guys next time.
Recording? Yo, listen, Ray, don't hate me. Shout out Ray. They say, Ray, how you doing? I mean, Ray's the GOAT, man. Ray's literally the GOAT, so appreciate you, Ray. Don't hate me. I love you. I didn't forget your name. How the hell could I forget your name, bro? That's it.